page, didn't you? Welcome to a breaking what's it called? YouTube video from Old World Fanatics. Mark Langley is in the house. We are competing with Close Order. I think Ed just went live as well.
It's a mission. It was a race.
Andrew just rang me and said, FAQ's out.
We're going.
Mark L is reporting for duties. Thank you. We are not prepared. Apparently, Andrew has read 1 or 2 pages. I have not looked at it because I've decided
Mark put it on the Discord, and I was like, straight away, I'm like looking at it, and then I'm like, no, quick, I got to get Gommo. It was just this frantic couple of minutes. It was nuts.
We were just like, I don't know. That's why there's no, maybe there's a thumbnail now. I don't know. So we have posted in a couple of channels to see if people want to come and chat. I guess don't spoil it all as I'm chatting because I haven't read it yet and I want to read it as I go. But I don't really care either. So do what may.
It's big. It's big.
Big changes, says Mark.
Lots of pink.
Yeah. So let's bring up my little PDF viewer.
Yep.
That's going to work. And it's gone to the wrong one, I think.
Nope.
That's the old one. There we go.
Technical challenges.
Yeah, they all look bloody same. Well, the first big thing that I saw when I shared this was what happened to FAQ 1.4, 1.5? Because wasn't the last one we got 1.3? So I'm confused. But anyway, I guess if anyone else is, obviously we are live because Mark's here, so that's all cool. So we're going to go through this together, Andrew. So you haven't looked at this one. You're looking at Forces of Fantasy first, were you?
No. Yeah. First page Forces of Fantasy. And I was really just holding back. I'm like, it's right in front of me. But we'll do live reactions.
This is going to be live reactions. And we are going to try and compare things, but I don't know if we're going to be able to. So it's going to have to go. Straight with it. Okay, so what's blue again? Blue's updated. Magenta is totally new. I really think they should do green for that because green means add, red means take away. But anyway, all good. Cool. Page 101. We'll just go 1 for 1 or something, or just until doesn't matter. Page 101, sure. Combat result bonus. Change the entries as follows. Whilst in combat order, a close order formation with a unit strength of 10 or more may claim a bonus of +1 combat result. So that's confirming that one we saw in that. Yep, cool.
Good.
I might just do a page and you do a page.
Yeah. Let's do that. It's just easier.
Magic Vortexes change the second paragraph. Some Magic Vortexes move at the start of each turn, often by scattering. Should a Magic Vortex end such a move over a unit, move it by the smallest amount possible in any direction so that it can be placed on the battlefield, not touching the bases of any models. Oh, so not charged through. Only problem with that one is you're going to get into this whole discussion again. Is it that's closer or just nudge it? Yeah. Oh, well. I mean, it stops the big OP straight down the line thing.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Bouncing through all the units.
I don't know. We're probably just, how many pages is, okay, yeah, we're just going to have to smash through this because there is a lot. 108, casting spells. Change the first sentence of the second paragraph. A wizard can attempt to cast a number of spells equal to their level of wizardry per turn, but may only attempt to cast each spell once per turn. Cool. Are you looking at the difference?
Nah, I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah, weird. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's just limiting it down. You can't get more out than you usually can. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know. That
when we don't know, fill us in, Mark, because I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I just don't have time to be looking back. 2 pluses on Hectic. Do they want to join? The casting wizard level of wizardry is then divided by 2. Oh, okay, so then you add more of this stuff. Rounding fractions up and added to this roll to give a casting result. For example, level 2 wizard makes a casting roll of 1 and 6. The total casting would be 8. 1 plus 6 equals 7. For the casting roll plus 1 for the level of wizardry divided by 2. The fuck?
Why do they explain it in the weirdest ways? Just simple. We're just simple people. All right.
What? The casting? Oh, you really need to in context.
So a level 1 is a 1 and a level threes.
Hey, Plasma Dave, how you going? Both fire things to stop Fireball and maybe Ruby Ring. But I mean, I didn't think casting bounds would count for that, but I don't know. The casting wizard's level is wizardry, then divided by 2. Okay, it's just confusing as shit. Okay,
yeah,
so it's that 1 and 2 thing. Okay, easy.
It's just really weird.
Barely control power. However, the wizard cannot attempt to cast any more spells for the remainder of the current turn. Oh, is that in the misfire, or is that the when you roll 6 barely control power? Oh no, 8 and 9. Okay, so they've added another entry on to stop. So if you miscast, you're going to lose. This one's now saying, however, the wizard cannot attempt. So have they split that up a bit now that the old ones were no one can cast, but this one is not as bad, but you can't cast potentially. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. I don't mind that.
That's good.
Wizards that are fleeing or that are not in battlefield cannot be nominated. This is for dispels. Wizards that are engaged in combat can only be nominated to dispel spells that target them or their unit. Oh, was that different? Because that happened in my my game where I can't remember which one, where I didn't dispel because I was in combat.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Okay, cool. Dispel and roll, dispel result. Change the first. If you're attempting wizardry, dispel, the dispel roll is modified by wizard level divided by 2 random factions up. Yep, cool. So that's just bringing down level 3s and 4s.
Yep.
To do so, you may attempt either a fated. This is dispelling remains in play within range of the template representing the spell. So there you go. That's what they were talking about. Clap, clap, clap. This is awesome. Representing magic, but I mean, I will say right now in page 1, I wasn't convinced they'd go this far in terms of patching so much of the book.
Yeah.
My book, I'm gonna cut all these out and shove them on there and just
we need to.
My big thing. I mean, it's all online.
Yeah.
So
the old scrapbook rule book. It's just gonna have little pages of shit everywhere.
And ward saves, representing magic protection of some sort. Ward saves are made in the same manner. Rolling d6. Ward saves warding is always given in either description. Rules that affect armor saves do not affect warding values unless stated. Okay, so that's bringing in some of those entries from the FAQ that you can't. It's not technically, you can't. What's it called? Plague of Rust ward. That was in the FAQ, and it looks like they've moved a little bit. That. Do you want to go through this one?
I'll hit this one. So the fighting rank. So this is what they were talking about as well in the rumors, funnily enough. So when 2 opposing units are engaged in combat, any row of models, be it the rank or file, in which one or more is in base contact with the enemy is the fighting rank. Any model that is in the fighting rank and within a number of inches equal to its movement of the enemy unit. So within a number of inches equal to its movement of the enemy unit can fight.
Yeah, it's badly written. But again, it's basically saying where the enemy unit is. If you're further out, this is how I'm reading it.
Further from the enemy. Yes. This represents models closing in upon the foe. So that's pretty similar. The only problem I've got with that is like an inch doesn't equal 25 mil, which is a base. I would have loved to see like some sort of clarification there. Otherwise, it's just going to get a bit ridiculous. So charging units.
But it does mean that if you're all 25s fighting 25s and you're two 25 mil bases larger on either side, say you're a what would that be? Say you're a 9 going against a 5.
Yeah.
All your 9 can fight because your furthest one out, 1 inch is slightly bigger than 25 mils.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Calling that now, people. Anyway, sorry.
Calling it. So charging units. Change the second sentence of the first paragraph as follows. To represent this, models gain a modifier to their initiative.
Sorry, can I just correct myself? That's if you had a 1 inch movement. Obviously, expand that out if you're moving 4. Sorry. In my head, it made sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
No, it's all good. So to represent this, models gain a modifier to their initiative characteristic during the combat phase of a turn in which they charged. So it's just clarifying just a bit of wording. For just charging, that's just like the initiative buff you get. So this is an edit to fly, the fly rule. Change the first paragraph of the rule as follows. Except when following up or pursuing, a model with this special rule can choose to move by flying through the air rather than moving across the ground as normal. When a model flies, it uses a special fly movement characteristic shown in brackets. Models that choose to... Oh, yeah. So
where did you get to? I'm confused. Where are you reading from now?
Page 170. It's the blue at the top.
Oh, but how come? Oh, you didn't read the blacks. You're just reading the reds and blues.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm an idiot. Sorry, That's okay.
Yep.
Sorry, keep going. God,
all right. So frenzy. There is so much. Change the first paragraph. The rule is follows during a turn in which it made a charge move or during a turn after it made a follow-up move. A frenzied model has a +1 modifier to its attack's characteristic. However, a frenzied rider does not confer this modifier to their mount and vice versa. So during a turn in which it made a charge or during a turn where it made a follow-up. So that means, what, do you not get it if you get charged? Is that the way I'm reading it?
Yeah, it must be changed, is it? Change the first paragraph of the rule. Because it used to be was frenzy +1 in... Yeah, no, it's always charge, isn't it? Or is it just first round of combat?
Yeah, but isn't that the charge? What is it? The furious charge? I'm a bit confused. Yeah, it looks like almost frenzy changed. Anyway,
sorry, can you just go back to fly X? Change the first paragraph of the rule. Except when following up or pursuing, a model with this special rule can choose to move by flying through the air rather than moving across the ground as normal.
Yes, you don't fly for a follow-up and pursue. You must just...
Wow, but that's big, isn't it? Because now you can't do those bump, but okay, huge.
Yeah, you can't go over. Yeah, you just got to...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, pretty cool. So impact hits. So change the second sentence of resolving impact hits as follows. Impact hits are resolved against the charged unit when the combat is chosen during step 1.1 of the close combat. Yeah, before issuing challenges. Yeah, so they hit automatically and use... Yeah, so you can't challenge and use the impact hits, basically.
Yep.
Cool. As part of that, unless it's a single model, obviously. So impetuous, if during the declare charges and charge reaction subphase of its turn, a unit that includes one or more impetuous models is able to declare a charge. A unit that includes one or more impetuous models is able to declare a charge. That's not... Anyway, it must
just a leadership. Just leadership.
Test. Must take a leadership test. If the test is failed, the unit must declare a charge. If this test is passed, the unit may act as normal. So, that's the one that was in the rumors as well. That's just written a little bit funny too. So, large target. Large targets do not benefit from partial or full cover. In addition, a unit can draw line of sight to a large target over or through another unit and vice versa, providing that it is also not a large target. Finally, a unit that shoots a large target can shoot with
one additional rank.
For example, a unit with crossbows can, shoot with 2 ranks. And then on a hill is 3.
Yep, so there goes the nerf the big ones.
Nerf the big ones. It's not, that's pretty good. But we'll see what we get out of this. That's good. So poison attacks, change the first sentence. So for each roll to hit of a natural 6, model with poison attacks then applies a +2 modifier.
It's totally different to what they said in the thing again.
One of their rolls to wound. To one of their rolls to wound.
Okay. Oh, but for each roll to hit of a natural one may apply.
Sorry, for each roll to hit. Yep. Understood.
Don't like it. I think that is not needed with that other one just above. Here's the double nerfing and extra fucking dice
rolls.
That is
a double nerf.
No reason.
That's
that's stupid. Poison attacks have been poison attacks for years. Natural 6. And now you've just... I don't know. I'm judging early, but these people don't seem to understand changing one thing.
at a time.
Yeah, just fucking.
We'll just change it all. Change it all. Yeah. All right, Gommo, you're up.
Regen X plus. Change the rules as follows. Immediately after a wound is lost, but before models with 0 wounds remaining are removed from play, you make a special regen save. That's all the same. If the regen save rolls equals or exceeds the model's regen, the lost value is recovered, but still counted for purposes of calculating combat result. Rules that affect armor values do not affect regen values unless, okay, so it's just added that thing.
Yeah.
I think it's exactly the same otherwise, as far as I can see. Stomp attacks X. Change the second sentence of resolving stomp attacks are made in combat that must be made last after all other attacks have been made, including attacks made in initiative 1. They hit automatically and use unmodified strength of the model making them. That's probably a clarification around that they go after initiative 1, is it? Don't really see too much different there. Not sure. Stupidity. Change the first. Unless it's fleeing or engaging combat unit with a special, must make a stupidity test by testing against its leadership. If this has failed, the unit succumbs to stupidity. Here we go. I like this. Cannot move, cannot shoot or cast spells, cannot attempt a wizardry spell, must hold if charged by an enemy. Much better. Bringing back stupid. Stupid is as stupid does. I like it. Much better. Swift Stride, a unit that consists entirely of models with this special rule, increases maximal charge range by 3 inches and imply making a charge, flee, or pursuit roll. And before making a charge, flee, may choose to apply +6. But I'm assuming they just brought some of the FAQ stuff into that errata because that was what it went to, wasn't it? Yeah. Vanguard, units that make a Vanguard move cannot declare a charge during the first turn. Fuck you, pegs. Bye-bye, errantry knights. No.
Yeah.
Errantry crusade.
Finally.
Good. Yeah.
Something makes sense. The world is good again.
And then we've got Warband. However, a Warband cannot use this modifier to its leadership should it ever choose to make a restraint test or if it's impetuous when testing to see if it must declare a charge or may act as normal. Okay, so it's just got to be, I'm assuming they can't add their leadership. That's cool. Quick turn. Unless it marched, a unit that is in open order may pivot about center to change its facing up to 90 after moving during the remaining moves subphase. Or what's different? Isn't that a quick turn? I don't know. Maybe there was some wording differences or something. Skirmishes in combat. Oh, God. Can they really fix this with Errata? Let's see. Skirmishes will maintain this close formation until the combat is over, until they're not engaged with any enemy at the end of a combat phase, at which point the models must separate, moving the smallest amount possible to once again adopt skirmish. Yep, cool. Skirmish and charging. A unit of skirmishers may charge an enemy unit that is visible to more than half of its models when charges are declared. Add the following to the end of the sentence. If any skirmishers are animated format, the unit is considered lost its current series. Yep. Well, hang on. A unit of skirmishers may charge an enemy unit that is visible to more than half of its models when charges are declared. I mean, is there more on skirmishers on the next page?
I don't know.
That's sort of what we were talking about, but I mean, is that they got 360, you can draw a line through.
But now you need like half your models to be able to see.
I mean, it would stop putting skirmishes in a block. They're just moving around, but I don't know if it really changes a lot.
Nah, but I mean that's going to be the same as in like if you're in a big giant block, you can't even charge forwards, can you?
No.
If you're blocking line of sight.
Well, what about the other rule that says that hang on, no, that's only if you're in close and open order. You know, when you're ranked up, the rear models draw line of sight from the front rank. But yeah, skirmishers, that's very true.
Yeah.
Skirmishers, but
you might not have like a big 20 unit of 20 skirmishers close because you might only have 7 models.
Okay, Mark made a good point. It's no more charging around corners with one model visible. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. But I'm not used to playing 40k. I don't understand those things.
Yeah.
I don't even think Australia just plays different. I've never even seen a big skirmish block of like people, really. It's so funny.
All right. Is it me?
Yep.
All right. Regular infantry rules. So press of battle. In the heat of battle, orderly ranks become a swirling melee, except during a turn in which it charged. The fighting rank of a unit that has this rule and is arrayed in close order.
Combat order.
Is not one. Sorry.
Yeah, that's arrayed in combat order.
Combat order. Sorry, is not one but 2 ranks deep. In other words, models that are directly behind and in base contact with models that are in the unit's actual fighting rank are also considered to be within the fighting
this is
rank.
a new rule. This is all these are new rules, aren't they?
Except during a turn in which it charged. This is big.
It's that supporting attack. It's 8th edition a little bit.
Ooh.
Oh, 6th edition and 8th edition are having a real baby here. I like it.
Oh, they are. It's this chaos spawn thing.
Well, I haven't seen getting rid of measuring charges yet. That would be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be even better.
That is crazy.
So I'm just having a look at where that sits. So this is in regular infantry. Oh, so all regular infantry get that. That's just in their
rules. Yeah, change the.
And then heavy infantry obviously would get it as well.
Yeah. So massed infantry.
Oh, yeah, this is good.
This is, that is good. So massed infantry. Numbers alone can sometimes overcome the foe when determining combat results. If one side has a higher unit strength than the other and includes one or more units with this rule, the side may claim a bonus of +1 combat result.
That's good. So they're getting +1 for being mass infantry, +1 for being close order.
Yeah, numbers. Yeah, that is. I like that. Oh, I get all the good ones. So parry. All right, here we go. With sword and shield, warriors attempt to deflect enemy attacks whilst engaging close combat. A model with this rule that is equipped with and chooses to use a hand weapon and shield improves its armor value by 1 to a maximum of 3 up. That is big.
Yeah,
as well.
that is good. That is good.
Heavy infantry add the following: press of battle, massed infantry, parry. So you got to be heavy infantry. This is.
I mean, poor Monson's infantry just got totally nerfed. Like they didn't get shit all. Poor ogres.
Oh, this is so good. So weapons of war. Change the first sentence of the second paragraph as follows. However, a war machine can freely pivot about its center immediately before shooting. Better to face the enemy and make a follow-up move as normal. So bit of housekeeping. So enemy shooting. Change the first paragraph as follows. A character that has joined a unit of models of the same troop type as them, i.e. infantry or cavalry, cannot be targeted by enemy shooting unless change the first sentence of the second paragraph after the bullet point as follows. If there are fewer than 5 rank and file models of the same troop type as a character in the unit, the controlling player must first allocate hits to the unit until 1 hit has been allocated to each model it contains. Cool.
Is that almost the same? Is that just a wording thing?
I think it is a bit of a wording thing, yeah. So look out, sir. Change the first sentence as follows. If a character is hit by a shooting attack, and if there are 5 or more rank and file models of the same troop type as the character in the unit, the character can make a look out, sir roll. Again, I thought that was quite similar. All right, so challenging and mounts. So delete the second sentence and then add the following note. Note that if either participant is slain before their rival or a mount can make an attack, those attacks are lost. So note that if either participant is slain before their rival.
Oh, this is to do with just mounts? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think so. Or a mount can make an attack. Their attacks are lost.
Delete the second what sentence? The second sentence is if the rival participation is slain before a mount's attacks are made, the mount's attacks can be made against the rival as normal for the purposes of overkill.
No longer.
Hang on, delete the set. But hang on.
So if you kill the champion of a unit, the mount doesn't get his stomps and his attacks. So if the rider, your dragon's going to be struggling to get his
rival on. Yeah, it's the other way. Yeah, sorry, because I was thinking you can't slay the guy and have the mount, but now it's the other way. Like, if you slay, that's big.
That's good. This
is basically as soon as one of you die, that's the end of the challenge, effectively.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's a big one. And that not only a big one, but that's almost like big for Warhammer. That overkill's been in the game for years. We just didn't really know much about it because monsters weren't that big a deal. But
like Mark just said, I mean, you're getting +1 for massed infantry, +1 for the close order. You're going to be losing combat, won't you?
You're not going into a unit.
Yeah, exactly. This is good. The flail got changed. So combat, so strength +2, AP -2, armor bane 1, requires 2 hands. A flail's strength modifier and armor bane 1 special rules only apply against enemy models the wielder charge this turn. So you still get the AP -2.
Yeah, but that's good. It used to be Wasn't it also +1? Or was it +2?
I'm not sure. I thought a flail was always +2, but I could have been.
Sorry, yeah.
Could have been.
But did you drop the AP after that? Wasn't it that?
Yeah, the AP. Yeah, sorry, the armor bane and the strength are gone, and you keep the AP, which is
that's pretty
cool. Good. Yeah. So more than one weapon. Change the first bullet point as follows, and delete the 4th bullet point. If a unit that is engaged in combat is equipped with 2 or more combat weapons, you must choose which weapon it will fight with when its combat is chosen during 1.1 of each and every choose and fight combat subphase.
So you can basically just flip around.
Swap around.
Yeah,
right.
I like.
Yeah. So halberds. So change the weapon profile. So strength +1, AP -1 in brackets -2, armor bane 1 requires 2 hands. So the halberd has an AP of -2 against enemy models that wielded charged.
I like that better than what the rumors felt a bit weird. I can't remember what it was, but it felt a bit weird. This one's just a bit better. So you're just cranking up some of these. But I mean, demis again. I mean, I'd almost be I'd almost be taking halberds on demis almost.
Or the halberds.
Maybe.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. So the Morningstar. Here we go. Might see some Morningstars coming out. So strength +1, AP -1, armor bane 1. The Morningstar strength modifier and armor bane 1 special rule only applies against enemy models the wielded charge this turn. So there we go. And then Lance.
The thing I don't like about this is it's a bit different. Like Flail, Morningstar still gets its AP, but halberds don't get its AP boost when they're charged. It's like trying to remember what they all do is going to be a bit annoying.
No, it is. Because like -2, but then it's like, no, it's -1. So Lance, models whose troop type is cavalry or monster only. A lance can only be used during a turn in which the wielded charge and its strength and armor piercing modifiers can only be used against an enemy model the wielder charged that turn. So that must just be a bit of a clarification. Oh.
What is it? Oh, Pash Amazon.
Oh, here we go.
Maximum armor value. This one. Change the entry as regardless of the armor it wears or equipment it carries. There's a limit to how much protected a model can be. To represent this, infantry or cav can never have an armor value better than 2+. Chariots, monsters, war machines can never have an armor value better than 3+. Cool. Love it.
That is pretty good. No more 2+s on your dragons.
Pash Hammer said, you guys still reading this? I've already hot taked it. Well, I only just found out about it. So there you go. Takes us this long to read. We're down under, remember? Like I had to filter all down.
Yeah, no. We're pretty slow.
Internet's a bit slow. Dead or fled. Each enemy unit that has been reduced to 25% of its starting unit strength or less, or its unit strength. Sorry, unit strength or less, or if in the case its unit strength is equal to its starting wounds, to 25% of its starting wounds are worth 50%. So that's basically coming from the match play guide, change match play thing as well. I actually would have liked it at 50, but I'll take it at 25%. It's still pretty good. It also means chariots never give it up, really. Do they? Because their unit strength doesn't change. right? Like solo chariots roaming around, unit strength 5 or whatever.
Oh.
You have to kill them.
Or equal, or if its unit strength is equal to its starting wounds, to 25% of its starting wounds.
Well, a character on a chariot would, but a normal chariot wouldn't. Because, like, heavy chariot's just 5, light chariot's 3. Doesn't matter about wounds.
Picking holes in the FAQ.
But then a character on a chariot, when you add them together, is that equal to its starting wounds? So therefore it does, probably.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
What about that, Pashammer? What about a character on a heavy chariot is 5 plus 3 wounds, which is 8. So therefore it is its starting wound. So therefore you can chew it down. So it's only standalone non-character chariots that you have to kill outright, I think. Pillar of Fire. Okay, here we go. Whilst in play, the template chooses difficult terrain. The template scatters D6 during every start of 10 subphase. Any units that move through it, or the template moves over subs D3 plus 3, strength 3 hits, AP -2. So it's random. It's coming up.
Oh, I can. Salty tears.
Oh, sorry, unit strength, not but unit strength is equal to its starting wounds. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, no, he's right. Pasham is right. So a character on a chariot, say a heavy chariot, is still unit strength 5, even though it's got 8 wounds. So therefore, its unit strength is not equal to its starting wound. So therefore, a character chariot still needs to be killed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I don't know if that's a potential. Like, I don't know if they deliberately did that or if it's a missight. I'm not sure. That's still pretty cool. Bring back chariots. Beastmen, all like that. Arcane Urgency, change the spells casting value tonight. But okay, well, these rumors are all appearing to be true.
Rumors are true.
Although they didn't have this one, because the Cowardly Fight changed the spells casting value to 8+. I don't know what it was.
Who knows?
Who knows? Steed of God, we're gonna have to change all our magic cards. Steed of Shadows, change the spells casting value to 8. Demonic Vessel, change it to 9. I don't know if that's up or down. I'm assuming it's down. I think Steed of Shadows is higher than that, but maybe I'm wrong. Vortex of Chaos. Whilst in play, the template shares difficult terrain. The template scatters D6. Any unit, friend of foe, moves through it. Template moves over subs D6 plus 1, strength 3 hits. Bloody hell. Should we actually compare these? Should we be looking at this? There's so many changes in this thing.
Yeah, just pretend we know.
What was it? It was
a lot of these casting values because obviously the wizard level has changed. So maybe some stuff is coming down a bit. I don't know. There's so many casting value changes.
Actually, whilst in play, the template is difficult terrain. Oh, okay. It went from dangerous to difficult.
Yeah. Okay.
God. Okay. Demonic Vessel was a 10, so it's dropped. Steed of Shadows was probably a 9. Yeah, it was a 9 because I was Some of them have come down. They've had to bring some down because I guess they've nerfed the
the wizard
things.
Yeah.
Andrew, you're bang on, but I'm not sure what he means.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I think it was about that, about just the wizard casting.
Oh, yeah. You already said that. Yeah. Infernal Gateways, the down by 9, Flaming Sword. Yep. Summon an Elemental Spirit. Template Scatters. I bet you that's the same. Is difficult. It probably was dangerous. Now it's gone back to difficult. Wonder why they've done that. Wonder why they've nerfed it down from dangerous. Don't know. As a rampass, here goes. Tropical Mist of place with anywhere completely within 12 of its original location, but not within. So they've nerfed that.
Oh no!
Down. We're gonna really have to take a pen to our magic cards, eh?
Yeah, we will.
Oh, spiritual. Oh, this is you.
Yep. So Deathly Cabal's changed to an 8+. Spiritual Vortex casting values changed 10+. Changed the 4th sentence of its effect as follows: whilst within 8 inches of one or more spiritual vortexes, enemy units suffer -1 modifier to their leadership characteristic to a minimum of 2 and cannot use their general's inspiring presence special rule. Curse of Years changed casting value to 9+. Fist of Gork.
How come there's Fists of Gork in this book? This is the rule book. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's
in War. That's in the War one. Sorry, I'm getting confused with the Gaze of Gork. I was like, I'm confused there. Yeah.
So Foot of Gork Whilst in play, the template is treated as difficult terrain. The template scatters 2d6 every start of turn subphase. Any unit, friend, or foe that moves through the template or the template moves over suffers d3+3, strength 5 hits with an AP of -2. Ogre Blade. Change the points to 75.
Love it.
The rumors were true. Yeah.
Hey, it's a bloody review, like not a review, first impressions. Sorry if we don't get everything right.
There will be quite a few mistakes.
Oh, you can, Pash, if you want to come on.
Ruby Ring of Ruin. Oh God, my favorite item. Change the points to 35 and change the rule as follows. The wielder of the Ruby Ring of Ruin can cast Fireball from spell Law of Battle as a bounce. Oh, power level of 1. So there you go. Power level of 1.
Wow.
So that's gone down from 2. So it's going to be a lot less.
I guess. I wonder, like we're saying, if you can't cast more spells than, you know what that other thing was? Locking you to the spells. How many spells you could cast to your level? Was that include? Like, what is it? Or it's just gone down just to make it easier to cast?
Oh, good point. I don't know if it's actually come down. So, sorry, quick reference sheet. Oh, yeah. So to cast a spell, roll 2d6 to divide.
Sorry, it's gone down. It's harder to cast. Sorry, I'm the wrong way around. God, it's too late. Too much work today.
Yeah, a little bit harder to cast.
And I'm doing something on the side here. Sending a link.
So it's just changing the quick reference sheet to talk about the wizard level
stuff they originally fixed. Yeah.
Dispelling a spell. Oh, yeah, that's exactly the same. And then, that's it.
Still got to exceed. They haven't changed that, have they? Yeah.
Clarifying some stuff.
Yeah.
With those bits.
Oh, God. Okay, where are we at to?
Oh, God.
Frequently asked questions. Okay. If a natural, we'll just go red, sorry. What happens if a scatter roll causes any part of an object to cross beyond the edge, the object's removed from play? Yep, fine. If a model is required to make a leadership test using its own leadership characteristic, can it use the leadership of a different model, like the general? No, when the rules state a model must make a leadership test using its own leadership, it must use its own leadership. God, I remember those debates in 8th.
Yeah, all the debates.
Some single-use special rules and magic items require leadership to test. To use, do they count as having been used, even if the test is failed? Yes.
Ooh.
Well, can different saves be combined together to improve their save value? For example, if a model has 2 wards. No, but okay, yeah. I need to go through that one.
Duh. Magic. All right. How many spells can a wizard attempt to cast during a single phase? For example, if a wizard knows a magical vortex and a magical missile, can they attempt to cast both during the same shooting phase? A wizard can only cast a number of spells up to their level of wizardry per turn, but can attempt to cast multiple spells during a single phase. In other words, should a level 2 wizard know 2 magic missiles and 1 magic vortex, they can only cast 2 of them per turn, but may cast both during the same phase. So if you have there are items which give you additional spells.
Yes. There's heaps of them, isn't there?
Up to your wizard level.
I'm assuming they've got an FAQ on this, but I know the Cathay book doesn't have a limit on that one. Like you can actually put 2. I mean, rules is written right now, and again, maybe not right now because the FAQ's out. You could have put that 15-point item on twice and get 6 spells.
Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So if it remains in play spell with 2 casting values is cast at the higher value, which is used for trying to spell it during the conjuration subphase. In order to spell a remains in place spell during your conjuration subphase, you must beat the minimum casting value of the spell in the spell's description, even if it was cast at the high value. So that's good.
Cool.
How many remains in play spells can I attempt to dispel during my conjuration subphase? As many as you wish, or perhaps more accurately, as many as your opponent has in play, and as many as you are able.
Cool. That's all good.
That's all good.
Next page. If a single model unit straddles 2 arcs of an enemy unit, which is charged, is it always going to be in the arc that gives the least advantage? Okay, no. This is only the case when you cannot determine which arc of an enemy unit charging is within. If it is clear that the majority of a charging unit is within one particular arc, even if a unit consists of only one model, it will charge into that arc. Hang on. If it's clear that the majority of a charging unit is within one particular arc, Even if that unit consists of only one model, it will charge. Okay, well, that's changed because I thought that was I thought that was the other way around initially. Hello, Pash.
Oi, oi.
How you doing? To save us.
This is a very exciting time. This is very exciting.
We're like, whoa.
I know. As soon as it dropped, I was like, well, I'm not doing any work today, I guess.
It's insane. Yeah.
All right, so how far have you got to the single?
We're into the FAQs now for the rule book. Yeah.
We're on page 9, so you can hit page 10 maybe, and we'll go through.
Did you go over the single model bit? Did you?
Yeah, I just did that then. Yeah, so that's changed because that was.
To be honest, all that is the way as it should have been originally.
Probably.
Some people just got a little bit too gamey with reading the rules, and they were like, "Well, technically, you can see both angles, so therefore you should."
Therefore, you have to go into you got to go into the flank or whatever, not the rear. Yeah. You didn't do the last one there though, Andrew.
What? Didn't I?
If a unit charges an enemy that defending a low linear obstacle.
Isn't that yours?
Oh, it's mine, is it? That's why you haven't done it then. If a unit charges an enemy that is defending a low linear obstacle, can it stop on top of the obstacle? No, as stated on page 27, the charging unit moves in base contact with the obstacle. Okay, cool. All good. But then, of course, then they don't get impact hits and all that.
Yeah.
How it works.
Yeah. Pat, do you want to hit page 10?
Yeah, sure. I mean, these are simple, straightforward things. Can a model that chooses to stand and shoot as a charge reaction attempt to cast a magic missile or magical vortex? No, makes sense. Models cannot cast magic missiles or magical vortexes after marching. Does this include bound spells? Yes. Again, makes sense. Like, these are all straightforward things. There's a small change in blue here that's significant. Can a close order unit of just one model claim the close order combat bonus? It says yes, provided it has a high enough unit strength. So a unit of just one model still counts. Essentially, what that means is you need to have unit strength 10, which is a change that happened earlier on. So Chaos Dragons can still get close order bonus, but pretty much no other monster can.
Yeah. And I like that because, yes, there's a lot of nerfs here and buffs, so it's nice to know the Chaos Dragon it's still supposed to be scary.
And it might not be the only Chaos Dragon around.
Well, I
won't spoiler it as I have.
There was back there. Models cannot cast magic. Yeah, the same sort of thing. Okay. Oh, hang on. There's one down here. Sorry, this one. What's this one about in combat?
Okay. So if a unit's fighting rank is engaged with 2 enemy units, one of which is a lone character engaged in a challenge, can models within the unit's fighting rank ignore the character even if they are closer to it rather than other enemy unit? Are their attacks lost? What that means essentially is if you have a unit and a character, and then a unit fighting those two, if the character's in a challenge, can you direct your attacks against the unit? And the answer is yes. Again, straightforward, makes sense. These are all, there's quite a lot of sensible, straightforward changes in this.
Yeah, and I think that's how you probably would have played it, but you never know because you are supposed to direct it to the closest one, I guess. But
that's right.
So I'll do challenges, and then I think it's back to Gommo, isn't it? So if one participant in a challenge causes impact hits or makes stomp attacks, where are they directed? So as we saw before, impact hits resolve prior to issuing challenges, and stomp attacks may be directed against the other participant in the challenge.
Should they have not used the word may there, or should they?
They
have to.
Yeah, whenever people read may, they start questioning whether it's optional.
That's it. What can I get as? So when a unit countercharges, it rolls D3 plus 1 to determine how far it moves. Is this roll counted as a charge roll? No.
So the only reason that matters is there are items like the Rampaging Banner, like the Heralds of Darkness, that give you reroll to charge rolls. And this is clarifying that it is not a charge roll. It's a counter-charge move or whatever. So that's the only reason.
It's still a charge move, but you're not doing a charge roll. Yeah, fair enough.
I was confused. Good. Thank you.
It's very corner scenarios here that actually become relevant. So that's why that's there.
Cool.
Gold.
If a unit with the fly X special rules engage in combat, can it use its fly movement characteristic when determining which models are close enough to models within the enemy unit to fight or make sporting attacks? No, models with the fly X special rule only fly whilst moving. In other words, such models are considered to have landed on the ground while fighting takes place and must use their given movement characteristics to determine if they are close enough to the enemy to fight. I mean, it's good that they've written that and told us about that. And
and
stuff. But I don't know.
It's never going to come in. I don't think it's ever really going to become a factor.
What's the movement of harpies or something if you brought a massive unit of 30 harpies and then they blew the banner? I don't know.
Basically, you're talking about things like Pegasus, probably. Like, and
but I mean, they're
moving
movement 8 anyway, and all that crap. Anyways,
yeah.
Oh, hang on. Oh no. Well, what about my bat swarms? They're only movement 1.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But like, unless you're bringing like a massive unit where you're like you're going for the huge line over with them, probably makes no difference. Warbeast and Swarm, fear models with the flaming attack special rule. Do Warbeast and Swarms that have the immune to psychology special rule. Fear models that have the flaming attack special rule. Yes, even though models that cause fear are normally immune to it, the rule that Swarms and Warbeast fear models is an exception called out in the troop types unique rules. Okay, cool.
Love a good corner exception that you have to remember and never will.
Units with Motley Crew special rule: use the armor value of the majority of models. What if there is an even number of different? Oh, here we go. What's going to happen here? In such cases, use the better armor value, not including the armor value of any characters or champions. Damn it! There goes the beast. The 3 minotaurs taking the blackened plate or whatever it is. I don't know, whatever they do. Damn, I was going to do that. Cool.
Oh. Sneaky.
This one's a weird one as well. Yeah, so the winning side, if the winning side of a combat includes 1 or more models that causes terror, do models on the losing side that cause fear or terror suffer the -1 to their leadership? And the answer is no, because models that cause fear or terror aren't terrified by terror-causing models. Again, this is a sensible, straightforward solution.
Yeah.
And it was people reading it in a very literal sense that have got it wrong. Basically, this is it.
Yeah, that came up on not Winter Warfare, but the tournament before. People were saying like, "Oh, you still take a -1," like it was.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, that seems
Never let bad wording get in the way of good rules.
Yeah,
exactly. All right, characters.
This one is sad.
Can my battle standard bearer have a higher leadership than my general? No. As stated on 203, the general is the character with the highest leadership. If this means not upgrading the character with the highest leadership in your army to the battle standard bearer so that they can be your general, so be it.
Wow. So isn't there some cases of special characters or something where they have to be the general even if they're lower? And then therefore... Maybe. But then, therefore, you can't take a BSB effectively if that would bump them up.
Special characters are an exception to pretty much everything. So I don't think that's what that is. That is one of the many direct nerfs to high elves, unfortunately, because one of the cool things you used to be able to do with high elves is you have your the handmaiden general, and then you would have a BSB who's leadership 9 who'd have the pure of heart, who then could pass on leadership 9 to everybody. But now it says directly you can't do that. So it's a bit of a nerf to high elves, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I was thinking that, or I don't know what wizards you could have that could be a general as well, but I dare say a level 4 is still usually reasonably high leadership. If you took level 4, but yeah, definitely level 2s might be struggling a bit. Can a character that has joined a unit of models of a different troop type be targeted by enemy shooting? For example, if a character whose troop type is light chariot joins a unit of regular infantry, can they be targeted? Yes. What's more, they don't get a lookout, sir.
Yeah. So no more chariots sitting in the big unit.
Yeah, this is probably another one of these direct hits to the royal host lists that nobody likes facing, because now, if you have a light chariot within a big massive blob of infantry, you can target them directly. They get no lookout, sirs. And essentially, they're as vulnerable as they would be if they were just sitting outside the unit. This is a fantastic change. This is really, really good.
Yeah, that's good.
Really positive.
I like it. Is it me? If a character joins a unit that carries a magic standard, does its effects extend to the character? Yes. When a character joins a unit, they become part of the unit, so magic standards can affect the unit. Yep, fair enough.
Yeah, I think this was a direct argument about the Vanguard banner and whether the character joins the unit, get Vanguard, all that jazz. It's just clarifying it, which again, most sensible people thought that would be the case anyway. So
yeah. Is this you, Pash? Do you want to do this one?
Sure. So a few clarifications about Lords of Magic. If the spell Arcane Urgency is used to move a unit with random movement, can the unit move into contact with enemy unit? And the answer is no. Whilst a unit with random movement can move into base contact with an enemy during the compulsory move subphase, Arcane Urgency causes them to move during the remaining move subphase.
Yeah.
So basically just clarifying that, you can't move a random charger.
And I think people work that out through actually reading the rules, like, mincing it. But I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes not totally clear.
There's a couple more. We've got, can a unit with Earthen Ramparts, can a unit which has Earthen Ramparts cast on it make a counter charge reaction? No. Makes sense. You can't make
That's
normal
good.
charges. If a unit charges an enemy unit upon which Earthen Ramparts has been cast, must it follow all the rules for charging an enemy unit behind a defended low linear obstacle, even though there is no such physical terrain feature between the two units? And the answer is yes. A unit which Earthen Ramparts has been cast counts as being behind a defended low linear obstacle when charged. Think of the spell's effects as representing a magically manifested obstacle rather than a physical terrain feature. This is significant. So this essentially means there is a magic wall. And
no impact hits, all that sort of stuff.
No impact hits, no contact, none of this.
And there's a couple of other items that mention this type of interaction, isn't there?
Yeah, it's good that they've made a decision on which way to go with this. I think it's going to make Earthen Ramparts one of the strongest spells there, because I think elementalism really gets a boost from this 1.5 edition.
Well, look, it got its little nerf, the TMP, didn't it? So
but was that a nerf, or was that just the proper way of playing it?
What's with this other one down the bottom here, though? When deploying armies, must units be placed completely within the deployment zone? Yes, because is that totally true?
Yeah. So basically, the wording used to be it has to be within the deployment zone, which means technically if you have one corner of your unit within the deployment zone and a big massive line strung out, you're within your deployment zone. So this is just raw people pointing out mistakes.
Okay.
Man, must be fun getting the emails into Games Workshop's inbox.
I'm confused. So what happens if a scroll of transmogrification is used on a bound spell? So after testing against the item's power level, in place of its level of wizardry, it may be turned into an inanimate
frog,
rendering it useless until it turns back. During each start of turn subphase, you may roll a d6. So does that mean you can turn a bound spell into a frog? Is that what I'm getting out of this?
I think that's what it is. I skipped over this because I've never seen anyone use this, to be honest.
I've seen one person use Scroll of the Frog Scroll. That was on their first old war game for a joke.
This will double the amount of Scroll of Transmogrification that is used out there from 1 to 2. That is, you'll never see it anyway. I mean, it'll be a lol thing, but other than that, nobody will use it.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to the end of the FAQ for the rule book. So wow. Nice. I mean, was there anything in those other rumors we saw? I mean, it was pretty much, if anything, spot on, but also missed a few. Like, it had even way more stuff, obviously.
Well, this is interesting because if you look at the FAQ version, this is 1.51. There's clearly
1.4.
1.5. Well, we're at 1.3 at the moment up until today. So there was probably a 1.4 that they thought, you know what, we're going to make bigger changes. Let's just bounce it. Then there was a 1.5, and then there's a 1.51. So there's clearly been a few versions that just didn't come out. And this is maybe what those rumor mongers have seen.
Which is the first thing I looked at. I went, where'd we get the other ones from? But cool. Awesome. Wow. Shane, just without even getting into the actual specifics of the armies, this it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out list writing plus on the board for sure, especially the infantry.
So good.
I haven't seen too much that affects movement in the sense that, if you can fly and all that sort of stuff, it's still pretty useful.
And Swift
Stride
is unchanged, which is I'm a bit disappointed by.
It's great getting your buffs for your land, like your weapons on the charge, but if you're not getting the charge, then
well, I mean, in a sense, with infantry now, if you are charging, you get the bonus and you have to strike with your front rank, and if you are charged, you get to strike with two ranks.
Yeah.
So that's the trade. It does make infantry better, yes. Not amazing, better.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Playable,
hopefully.
Should we? Are you guys want to see the good or the baddies next? The goodies or the baddies?
Let's go. Well, you know what? Let's go for the goodies because I think they're less exciting than the baddies.
Okay.
Spoiler.
Oh.
Hang on, let me bring up the goodies.
What is happening? Why can't I bring that over? What is it doing? I'm pressing the wrong buttons on my keyboard. That's why. Okay. Let me drop that and then bring it back.
I'm just going to go and play my grand piano in the background.
Yeah, tinkle away.
Get my forces of fantasy out, ready for checking some points.
I got my book too.
Okay, here we go. Where do we want to start? It's dwarves, hey? Well, you want to do dwarves, Andrew?
Yeah, but it's got Empire stuff in here too. So I feel
but is it in the okay, it's mixed. Okay, don't worry. I thought it was sort of
I did the last one, so I think it's back to you.
Okay, I'll do this. No worries. Page 15. Sorry, it's the FAQ. I think they split it into the army books, don't they? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
The Anvil of Doom can cast the following bound spells with a power level of 2. That's just dropped back, has it? Because of the whole way magic.
Yeah, it used to be 3, now it's 2.
Yeah. And I'll just say Rune of Oath and Steel 8 and 11.
That's increased it.
I was going to say it wouldn't have been 12.
Used to be 7. Now it's 8. Interesting. They've nerfed it. Nerfing dwarves. I like it.
Wow. The bound spell is cast with a casting value of 8 or more. The target re-roll any failed armor save rolls. Okay, cool. Is that the same, that next bit? And change the first sentence.
Well, they changed the armor save with parry, and most dwarves are, so probably it's just trying to even that out. Because if you're getting +1 to your armor save roll with parry, and you can
be really strong.
Saves, it's gonna be super strong.
Yeah, fair enough. Hearth and Home is 8. Is that is that going up as well?
Increased, yeah. Yeah, they don't want dwarves casting stuff by the looks of it.
And then Hammerers add Grommel armor to the list of special rules. I think that's something that you've always wanted, isn't it? Is that reload ones, isn't it?
They got plate, so they got Grommel now, I think. Yeah. They had plate, I believe. But they get to re-roll ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite nasty.
Runes of Protection. Change the rules as follows. Models with this special will have a 6+ ward against any wounds suffered that caused by non-magical enemy attack.
Oh, they got heavy.
Yeah, but isn't Grommel... is Grommel 4 up, or is Grommel just the one re-rolling ones?
Re-roll ones.
Yeah.
But they got, sorry.
What's this Rune of Protection? Is that only against non-magical now? Was that just a 6-up ward before?
Change the rule as follows. Models with this rule have a 6-up ward save against any wounds suffered that were caused by non-magical enemy attacks.
Was it just a straight up 6-up?
Well, my book says exactly the same.
Oh, okay.
The unit has a 6-up ward save against any wounds suffered that were caused by a non-magical enemy attack. Oh, I guess it's models rather than unit.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't grant a character then.
Yeah, I guess that's what it means. Okay. Yeah, you can't put a character. Yeah, you can't put a character in that unit and then give the character the benefit of that.
I'm sad about the next. Change the strength characteristics to 5. The Trollhammer torpedo and place 4 crafted with cumbersome. Unnerved.
Love it.
I didn't even take it now.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Rune Law. Change the rules as follows. A model with a special rule may be nominated with Dispel as if a wizard, however, unlike regular wizards. Yeah. Anvil of Doom has a range of 24 inches and may apply +3 modifier to its Dispel rolls. Rune Lord has a Dispel range of 21 and may apply +2, and a Runesmith is 18 and may apply a +1 modifier. So the Runesmith, am I correct? Are they the same and the Rune Lord and Anvil's gone up? Was the Anvil always 24?
I think the Anvil was always 24. Well, basically what happened was, I think they used to be level 1, 2, and 3 wizards. That's what they counted at. That's what they're currently in the book. So now they've changed it. So the Runesmith is basically unchanged still 18-inch range dispel, still +1 to dispel, which is the same as the main rulebook FAQ. So that's everything is the same as it, in line with changes. The Rune Lord now has a dispel range of 21. That's new. I've seen that before. And they have a dispel of +2, which, given the fact that they used to be a level 2 wizard, that's actually better than the FAQ changes. So a slight push to the Rune Lord there. And the Anvil of Doom, that's really good. So it's still the same dispel range, 24, but it's +3 to dispel.
They're a better dispeller than a level 4 wizard, effectively.
So I guess they made some fluffy changes there where dwarves are better at dispelling stuff.
It's dispelling than they are. Yeah, I like that. General of we get into Empire. Here we go. General of the Empire, leadership 10. Captain of the Empire, leadership 9. Wow, cool. Even though they're Empire State Troops, add Horde to State Troops and Veteran State Troops list of special rules. Excellent. So they're veteran. So they always and Veteran State Troops list of special. Add Horde to the State Troops and Veteran State Troops. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Great Swords, change strength characteristic to 4. Counts Champion, change the strength characteristic to 4. Wow.
So that means they're now strength 6, which is great. Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Very good. Strength 6, 4-up save with their little pants on. With their plate armor. That looks like they're wearing
full plate pantaloons.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Who's next one is Pash?
This makes me sad. They haven't gone far enough. All right, so let me read it. So Royal Pegasus points. Yeah, so Royal Pegasus has gone up to 70 points from 60. To be honest, that makes no change. That's nothing. Nobody cares. The next bit is the biggest miss, in my opinion. Pegasus Knights change the points to 59 and delete Lance formations from the list of special rules. Now, what they should have... Okay, so basically, the Pegasus are currently 55, I think. So you've increased the average unit of Pegasus by like 15, 20 points. Nobody cares. That makes no difference. Lance formation, I think I've seen them in Lance formation maybe once in my life. I think what would have been more significant... Is if they've actually taken the skirmishers rule off them and just left them with Lance. That would have been much better. This does nothing to Pegasus Knights, unfortunately. So
what's your opinion though? Like my opinion was Royal Peg should just be monstrous creature, and then I don't know if you have such a big deal because even though pegs are very bad, it's almost like having that guy running around as well and doing 360 makes it all the much worse.
It does,
you can sort of deal with the Pegasus Knights if they're 360 charging, but that character's not. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think they've done enough changes to the peg problem. It is much the same, and you still have yes, okay, now you need your skirmishers, your skirmishing unit to fully see 50% of your unit to see the unit you're charging. But if you have 360 line of sight, that makes no difference really.
And they've got the rule where they can have. Are they 3 inches apart or something like that? Like they can see. It's going to be very hard to not.
Yeah, there's only 3 or 4 of them, isn't there? So it's like you're always going to have them in a way that they're going to be able to see most stuff.
Yeah, it's just
it's a bit of a miss, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but the next bit sort of makes up for it.
Oh! Does that mean Beastmen get nerfed as well?
They do actually. Yeah.
Sorry, spoiler. Never even got a chance to use it. Damn it.
Just a week too late.
Horn. Yeah, Falcon Horn. So now they have changed it to single use. During the command subphase of their turn, if they're not engaged in combat, the bearer of the Falcon Horn may attempt to use it by making a leadership test using their own unmodified leadership. Single use.
And if you fail, it's still used.
If it's failed, it's used up. Yeah, exactly.
Do you reckon that's just going to take them out of the game? Like, why would you? How much is that? 50 something? How much is it?
Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, it's pretty pricey. Like, it's a lot. I mean, it's a good ability for even for one turn. It's 40 points. I think that you'd still pay 40 points.
Oh, okay, 40. But I don't know if Beastmen are going to bring 110 point or whatever it is Bestigor unit with a banner just to do it once.
Yeah, because you got to build into it to get the reroll, don't you? With the veteran. Yeah.
Stealth Beastmen nerfs. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's look at these guys first. So Falcon Horn, I don't think anyone's going to miss this. Like,
no,
it's just a no fun item. So
it's
I think
a line you can take out of Aussie comp now. There you go.
Exactly. Now there's a few lines I can take out. I think it's going to be pretty good. Pretty good. So yeah, no, good. That's a great change. I'm happy with that. About the only nerf that Bretonians have had, really.
Cool.
Burning Gaze, just changing the value to 9. That's relevant, I think. Yeah, it's just all relevant. They're changing the casting values of stuff. That's nothing too exciting.
What happened with this one? Every Treeman agent knows spells from one of the following. Did they just miss a paragraph, like a sentence?
Page 124. Maybe they have. Sometimes this is just correcting things that they should have had them before. Treeman Ancient. Yeah, it's just adding a line. Oh no, hold on. Every Treeman Ancient. A Treeman Ancient is a level 2 wizard. No spells from the following. Okay, so he's no longer a level 2 wizard? Yeah, I don't know what that does.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't think that means you're going to see Treeman Ancients or anything. Still not a unit I've ever seen, I'll be honest.
And the Deepwood Covenant's just adding what they had done in a previous one?
Yeah. So you can you can default to the signature spell. I don't know if they could default to the signature spell before, but they certainly can now. But again,
I thought you could, but maybe I was wrong.
Elementalism or battle. I don't know. They keep changing these guys. It's hard to keep up with what they actually do. I guess now you have the option of a signature spell. I don't think you had before. I think before you had to just dry roll them on the spells. But again, nobody. I've not seen Sisters since the nerf of them not being able to pick their spells. So I don't think this will make any difference, to be honest, to them being more prevalent. Now this is quite good. Yeah, the Woodland Ambush. So you change the sentence to as follows: once players have finished placing terrain, a Wood Elf Realms player may place one additional wood measuring no less than 3 inches and no more than 9 at its widest point. So no more funky 1 inch hedges.
Yeah, exactly. Fair enough.
I'm glad they put that in. That's a sensible change. That's something that should have been in there in the beginning.
Yeah. So, I'm assuming these are just dropped, are they? The spells?
1, 4, 6,
9, 8.
I suspect they probably are.
Seeing something in there I like.
Casting spells, casted Forest Walker.
Yeah, that was a 10.
Yeah, they're just dropping. They're just dropping them by 1. Yeah.
Oh, and then white lines.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah, so this doesn't make up for the nerfs that they've given to the high elves, but yes, white lions now have Furious Charge, which means that they're a bit more of an exciting core option. However, what it actually means is the super white lions, the Lion Guard, are basically never going to be seen, because that was about the only difference between them. Because if you have these guys who have almost the same rules and are in core, definitely, you can have them in that. So yeah, fine, makes sense. Yeah. And then I think the last bit is the worst spell in the whole entire game has now been lower, even easier to cast.
Nice.
What's Hand of Cain? I always get confused because Fury of Cain or Ring of Cain, that's the magic missile unbound thing, isn't it? What's Hand of Cain?
Yeah, so Hand of Cain is really bad. Hand of Cain is an assailment. A single enemy model the caster is engaged in combo with suffers a single strength 4 hit with no armor saves. But you can have ward and regeneration, and you can cast it on a 7 now. Enjoy your strength 4 hit that you can have your ward and regen save on. Great. Definitely worth a spell slot. Yeah. Terrible spell.
That is. All right. So we'll keep going down. So Arcane Journal, Empire of Man, Errata. So the
nerfed them.
You get all the hard
Chicken
Guard.
Delete Guardians of the Temple from the list of special rules. So
that's just when engaging combat, a model with a special reroll any rolls to hit of a natural 1. So for some reason, they need to get rid of that.
Well, Empire are OP, so I totally understand why they had to change that.
So I do like the high elf bit as well. So they're changing their wood. So the Creation War Host, you can't take your big 12-inch pie template. So I'll be taking that back to Cam, his 12-inch pie template, and I'll now need a 3 by 9 inch
Yeah, but it's a wood now. It's not this weird thing.
Oh, is it a wood?
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
a
it
wood.
says.
Oh, that's interesting.
May place
so
one
good.
additional wood featuring no less than 3. So
Oh.
now it is wood.
So they're like wood elves now, basically.
Yeah.
That is significant. Okay, maybe the tiles aren't quite as bad as I thought, but
yeah, that is.
Because if you're forest.
Yeah, well, that's. I mean, a free piece of terrain is significant.
Yeah,
when,
true.
when you essentially ignore it, you know. So actually, I think the Thracian war host has got better under this. Because now you have core white lions that have got furious charge. You've got free wood. Yeah, it's not bad. Could be feasible.
I don't like these bounce spell nerfs on the power level.
Yeah.
They're pretty shit. Like, because what is that? Is that a 7 to cast or something?
It is unless they've changed it, which I don't think they have. It is a 7 to cast. So now you're casting it on a 6. It's a bit of a shame actually, because it does so much of the heavy lifting. Making Silverhelm viable. Yeah.
So the Wood Elf, so Fury of Athalorian casting values gone to 9+. So Spiteful Torrent, change the 3rd, 4th, and 5th sentences of the spell effect as follows. So whilst in play, the template is treated as difficult terrain. The template scatters D6 during every start of turn subphase. Any enemy that unit that moves through the template or that the template moves over suffers 3d6 strength 2 hits, each with an AP of -1. And Dirthu's Wrath changes to 9+.
Is this the stuff that they've just released like weeks ago? They're now changing it already.
Yeah,
fair enough. Oh well, it is consistent, I think, with all the other changes that they've made to vortices and casting values and stuff. So nothing.
Except for Dark Elves can still run around and choose their one because they're
legacy.
They don't. Dark Elves don't exist. Skaven don't exist. Lizardmen don't exist. All of these are fictional armies.
So funny. FAQ time. Who's this, mate?
That's interesting. Go for it. Who's going to read it? It's not me. I don't like dwarves.
Was it me, Andrew? Did you just do the last one, or did I? No,
I did the last one. Yeah.
Oh, you did. Okay. If I give armor runes to an Emblem of Doom, does the emblem itself benefit, or just the crew? Just the crew.
So does that mean that toughness 10 rune now no longer benefits the anvil when you're shooting it? Is that how? Is that the change?
The rune of Gromrel, I think. So that's an. Oh no! You are right. Sorry. Yeah, because it's an armor rune. Sorry,
so therefore you're shooting at the actual thing and not the crew.
Yes.
Yeah. So you've got these really toughness 10.
Just sit back and just shooting
through combat.
You're just holding the anvil in front of them so when it gets shot, so that they don't get hurt. Of course, makes sense.
Can the champion in a unit of Royal Clan Warriors or Hammers put weapon runes or Gromrel Great Axe on a Gromrel Great Axe or Great Hammer? No, weapon runes can only be inscribed upon a hand weapon or great weapon. As defined in the book, the Royal Clan Warriors, Gromrel Great Axes, and the Great Hammers are unique types of weapons, each with their own profile and rules. Is that how you would have played it anyway, Andrew?
Oh, good question.
No. I would have thought so, maybe. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I've never really put runes on champions.
Yeah.
Dwarves, so.
Empire, we're into. Does the Griffin standard allow a unit to claim a higher rank bonus than normal for its troop type? Yes. It's stated in the items rules. A unit carrying the Griffin standard can claim a rank bonus +2. Yep. That's cool. That's just, I guess it's just an FAQ, but fair enough. If Harold, I can't say his name, Harold Gammondson, he's the dude, he's the Knights Panther dude, issues a second challenge using his skilled jeweler special rule, he can fight again immediately. Can his opponent in the challenge fight again? Yes. If Harold's second challenge is accepted, it is fought immediately, meaning both Harold and his opponent fight. However, Harold's mount may not fight, and nor may his opponents. Okay. Interesting. A unit of Empire Roadborns may replace its crossbows with bracer pistols for +1. If it does so, must the captain champion pay an additional +2 points to the same? No, if the entire unit replaces its crossbows with bracer pistols, that includes the captain. If the unit is armed with crossbows, the captain has the option to replace them with a bracer pistols or a repeater pistol. Okay. Cool. That's just a bit of it. That's good FAQ. That's probably the army builders probably have it
tidying up
one way or the other, but who knows? Yeah.
Cool. Is this Pash now?
All right, okay. So more Brett questions. Can a unit with defensive stakes be hit by impact hits or stomp attacks by a charging enemy? Yes. Whilst the stakes might do tremendous damage to cavalry and chariots, the momentum of such models when they charge will carry them onto the archers, although they may be turned to kindling in the attack. Defensive stakes hit by impact hits or stomp attacks.
There's no consistency here because here they're like gone. If you have to be in base to base to get impact hits, and here they go. No, you can't. Oh,
yeah, well, they love Brits, so you got to make exceptions for your favorite army, right? All right. What happens if a unit in lance formation that declares a charge finds its movement blocked by the presence of an enemy unit to its flanks, where the unit gets wider? Such situations are covered by accidental contact. If lance can wheel around the enemy unit, it should do so. If not, the lance has two choices: holding the charge or making contact with the enemy unit. Yeah. Okay. I mean, basically, if a unit gets in the way of a lance charge, do you charge that unit? Sure. I mean,
I think that's sort of how people are doing it, but it is a bit weird. Yeah. Accidental contact. Cool.
Oh, there's a little. Oh yeah, this is actually my question, or is it a question I also sent to the FAQ team? So I'd like to think it was my question that they've answered. Can Core Hill Lionmane or a Thracian chieftain join a unit of white lions of Thrace? And the answer is yes. The reason that's a question is because white lions have a special rule saying you can only join them if you are the general or you have the Thracian honor. Now they've actually duplicated it here because the Thracian chieftains counts as having the Thracian honor, but Core Hill does not. So there was a bit of a question of whether Core Hill could actually join White Lion if he wasn't the general, and they've answered that you can. So fine,
cool.
Makes sense.
Good.
Everybody was playing it that way anyway. But
that is it for that one.
Yeah, that's the forces.
You guys chat on that while I get the other one up. So I
see something good.
Are you looking at the baddies already? Are you?
Yeah, straight up.
Overall, I think that the Forces of Fantasy is fine. There's nothing too exciting. It sounds like they've made the dwarves a bit worse at casting, a bit better at dispelling, which is totally in line with what they are. They've not really. All the other changes seem to be in line with common sense, essentially. And I think there wasn't really anything else that was too surprising. But we might find a few things here that will be counter to what people thought.
Here we go.
Is it me?
Yeah, it's you. Something happened with my.
This is a very exciting page.
So release the Fanatics. Change the last sentence of the first paragraph of the rule as follows: unless it is fleeing or in marching column, concealing unit may release one or more of its Fanatics during any start of turn subphase.
So no more marching into your opponent and then releasing Fanatics turn one. So that's a good thing. That's a sensible change.
I've seen less of that now anyway since they nerfed it down a bit, but still.
Well, you didn't see the WTC online where somebody put goblins in one line and then they did a pivot so that essentially the front guy moved 1 inch, but the back guy moved like 30 inches and then released Fanatics out the back of that. They had to have a discussion about that. I'm glad none of that is now possible.
You gotta love Warhammer players.
All right, so troll mobs. Change the option to take one of the following as follows. Any model in the unit may take one of the following. Add Motley Crew to the Common Troll, River Troll, and Stone Troll lists of special rules.
Pash, what's with that one? Like,
so essentially, I think this is a rumor that I heard that they were basically adding Motley Crew to trolls, and it just means you can have a higgledy-piggledy selection of trolls, which is kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. It makes trolls a bit more viable. You can sort of, have the really armored trolls as the majority of the unit, and then you can have the really sort of like hitty trolls.
So yours, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so you're saying you can mix the stone trolls and all that you mix.
I believe you can now mix the trolls. Yeah. I didn't look into this
because they're under troll mob. Yeah. Okay. So troll mobs, you got 3 of them. Monstrous infantry, and where do they say to add it? Any model in the unit may
now take one of the following. Yeah, page 28.
I swear that's still not. I don't even know if that's still rules as written. Like it feels like to me. It could mean that they're motley crew, but you can have some with additional hand weapons, some with great weapons, but they still all have to be river trolls.
Oh, maybe you're right, actually.
Well, it's written.
So what does it say? Any model in the unit may take one of the following.
That's the options, where usually it's the entire unit may have to take it.
So what they've done is you can have some with great
hand
weapons,
or great weapons.
Okay, maybe you're right there. Maybe all this actually changes is that half of them can have great weapons and half of them can have additional hand weapons or whatever.
Which I guess could still be sort of useful, but I don't know. I think you still
well, that's less exciting, actually.
Yeah.
Bit of a nothing burger, really.
Right, Porco's pig sticker. So basically, the weapon strength and armor piercing modifiers apply only during a turn in which the wielder charged. Brainburster changed to a 9+. Mork's Curse changed to a 7+. Character mount, delete the restrictions on the second bullet point as follows.
Oh, sorry, we've got it's so weird. I'm looking at going out.
I know this is no longer. This is we're into chaos. This is where it gets exciting.
We're into chaos. Delete the restriction on the second bullet point as follows: demonic mount.
So all that does is it means you can now have aspiring champions and demonic mounts. Again, not a major change. You might see them more often. It's not really anything. The next bit's a bit more exciting.
Yeah, okay. So change the restrictions on the 5th and 6th bullet points as follows. So Manticore for Exalted Champions and Chaos Lords only. And Chaos Dragon, Exalted Champions and Chaos Lords.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is big. So the Manticore bit,
that's how you get it under the 500 points.
That's how you get it under the 500 points. Now you can have Exalted Champions on Chaos Dragons, which are still, 8, 9 wins or whatever. 9 wins, I think. So they're basically a mini Chaos Lord. So in a way, you still have Chaos Lords, just slightly. They're basically in line with
the toughness gets nerfed down a bit, doesn't it?
Exalted Champions are toughness. Are they toughness 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the worst thing.
But to be honest, you still.
I mean,
Exalted Champions toughness 4. Yeah. So you now have toughness 5 dragons, but you could have 2 of them.
Yeah.
Plus in smaller point games as well. I think that's
you can have a Warpfire dragon flying about. You can realistically have a 3-dragon chaos army.
Do you see any benefit with the Manticore as well then with the Exalted Champion? Well, not really.
Just a smaller monster.
He only has toughness 4 though. That'd be fucked.
Yeah, okay.
Manticore doesn't even get a buff for toughness.
Yeah, Manticore is I prefer Chaos Steeds, but Manticore is not quite as exciting. But I think the Chaos Dragon is exciting for an Exalted Champion because Chaos Dragons are still nasty.
Yeah.
You could, essentially. Oh, let's have a little think about it. So, Exalted Champion, 125 points on a Chaos Dragon, which is what are Chaos Dragons? Bear with me.
But they had +1 toughness and 4 wounds or something, is it? Or?
Yeah, I'm just looking at cost wise.
Oh, they're 285.
285.
6 wounds, sorry.
So that's like 405 points or some 410 points for essentially a 9 wound toughness 5 dragon with 4 up, essentially 3 up with a shield, and a 5 up ward. That's 410 points. That's pretty good.
It's just the toughness that's a bit annoying. But can you bump that? Is there any magic arms or anything? Well, hang on. You can roll toughness buffs on. You can roll
toughness buffs. Yeah, the gods. Yeah. It's only a 1 turn only thing, but yeah, you can definitely do it.
Ah, is it okay? Yeah.
But like it for 410 points, that's a lot of dragon.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can fit 2 of those ender levels.
So did they also remove sorcerers or something?
Don't think so.
No, because it's only under that Chaos Lord bit that they're talking about.
Yeah, you can't unfortunately have level 2s running around with Chaos Dragons. That would have been exciting.
No, sorry, I'm just Old World Behemoths was saying no more sorcerer. I think that's what he's saying. Sorks on dragons. Sorcerer. I was thinking that's what he was talking about, but it's only that first bit.
It's only the first bit.
Changes it.
The first bit.
You still get Sorcerer Lords on Manticores and Chaos Dragons.
Yeah. The next bit is exciting though. So keep going.
So the trolls.
Trolls are fine, but you can read that. Go for it.
So the exact same thing with the Chaos Trolls, basically, like the weapon choices and the Motley Crew. But yeah, as Pash was alluding to, the Chaos Knights get
counter charge. Cool.
This is very significant. This is a core unit that's weapon skill 5, strength 4, lances, 3 up armor state, has counter charge. I mean, this makes Chaos, like, other than me, everybody has been pretty fouled on Chaos Knights generally because they're not as good as they used to be. But like, I think this now makes them. This really takes them up a tier in terms of their ability because counter charge is huge.
Andrew learned more about counter charge on the weekend, didn't he?
It's good. Like if you have it, you'll take it easily. Yeah. This is significant. I'm very excited for this change.
Yeah,
that's really good. Yeah,
that is good. If only Silver Helms had counter charge.
If only Silver Helms had anything, to be honest. Sad. Very sad.
Right. So this probably isn't as big as what it could have been, obviously with the changes. But the Chaos Dragon has impetuous, as per the rumors.
Exactly. Just means the odd time it'll have to charge in, which again is not huge issue because you want it to be in combat, really.
Yeah.
But impetuous is less scary now. Yeah.
All right. Who's up?
Might be me. Diabolical Splendor at the front of the start of the rule. Models whose troop type is infantry or cav only. So I'm assuming that used to go on.
Yeah. So Diabolical Splendor was quite a nice one because you took. Oh no, this -1 to hit. Oh, okay, well that's less exciting actually. So any enemy model that targets this character or unit during the shooting phase suffers an additional -1 to hit. So basically, it was harder to hit dragons. I don't really see that being taken very often, so I wouldn't really worry about that too much. But the next one is significant.
The enchanting aura is the strikes. Is that the strikes first? Can't use strike first. If they don't have that, they get strike last. And that can't be on the dragon either anymore.
That's right. Yeah. So it's now models who are. Oh, hold on.
Infantry or cav.
That's okay. I read this differently. Models whose troop type is infantry or cavalry only. Okay. So now it's restricted to only models who are infantry or cavalry only. Okay.
Yeah.
I think right because that doesn't restrict the. Yeah, that's what they usually do when they say infantry or cavalry only. It means that's the only ones that can take it rather than the only ones that are affected by the rule, right?
Yep.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah. That's
cool. That's fine then. That's absolutely for the Pash bus. This makes absolutely no difference. I love it. This is great.
The Pash bus. Infernal Puppet. That's what have they done here? Unless the owner of the Infernal Puppet is fleeing or engaging combat, they may. Whenever the enemy unit wizard is within 15 inches of them, makes a casting roll. That's huge.
Yeah, that's significant. But it's still puppet. It's still the same effect. It's just shorter range. So it could have been
24 inches down to 15. That's huge.
Yeah, it is huge. But I mean, it you play better. That's basically, that's all you're going to have to do. I don't really think it's significant, but it's not the end of Infernal Puppet. You'll still see it.
Oh,
it's not, it's
usually
not the
they're up in the face a bit anyway. Sometimes
exactly. I don't think that'll be a big deal. So yeah, I think that's.
We've got a 3-point bump to Dragon Ogres. I don't think that'll make much of a difference, but cool.
Again, I don't think there's any who thought that's going to make the big change. Yeah, I don't think that's. Really
then we've got the Arcane, the Skull Smasher. You must choose which Kicknick will use. You must choose which Kicknick will use when his combat is chosen during step 1.1 of the choose and fight combat. It must be one of his weapons, is it? Okay.
One of his weapons, I think, has different profiles on it. Yeah.
But then we go cast me. Oh, sorry, that's okay. I'm confused.
You have jumped.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah, it's laid out different there. Chaos Mutations. We're on to still Ravening Hordes here. Skeleton Chariots changed the points to 41. They've gone up a little bit, I believe.
What page is that? 141.
141.
So they were 43.
Oh no, they've gone down. They were 43. Sorry.
I mean,
points.
These
a good little swift stride little things.
Like,
41 points.
That makes what, a 6 to 8 point difference to an army list? Like, is that going to make any changes? Like, again, like
it is weird how like there's all these big things they've changed, but they've also changed things online. Especially when you're talking about changing points. which are actually quite annoying because the books they're written, they're in army lists. They're like it's a lot of fucking around. Whereas a rule, you don't really write it. You just know it.
But they seem to have changed the points on the big stuff that you only take 2 or 3 models anyway. So like it will make no difference to your army list. Rather than like a skeleton
3 points
warrior
to a skeleton would make a
massive
difference.
It's very odd changes, but okay, fine. They've tweaked
Caster of Skulls can cast the bound spells power level 2. That's sad. Okay, fair enough.
Well, yeah,
but they've all been nerfed, so fair enough. Flail of Skulls changed the weapons notes as well as Flail of Skulls strength model only plays against enemy units models the will to charge its turn. So again, that's slightly different to the normal flail, which is strength and it's armor bane, but I guess it doesn't have armor bane, so I guess it's similar. I can't say that. Incantation of Desiccation changed spells casting value to 9. So I'm assuming that went potentially, I hope, went down 1, but
it is 10 to 9, so it's slightly decreased, which is inconsistent,
Cool. Yeah, then the Arcade Journal for the Orcs and Goblins, like we said, Kicknick's weapon got a bit. Featured Whirlpool, which is one of the spells from that Troll lore, I think. Bolson player, the template street is difficult terrain. I think they've just gone from dangerous to difficult a lot. But apart from that, it's probably exactly the same. Torrent, Rapid, they're all gone down. And Acrodax, the strength modifier only against enemy models that will to charges. There's a lot of that where they just debuff the strength bonuses once you're in combat.
Yeah.
Oh, I know they did do that. Yeah. Who's that? Pash, I think.
That'll be me, is it? So, Arcane Journal Warriors of Chaos. Storm's Wrath changed the weapons notes as following. Storm's Wrath strength modifier applies only against enemy models the wielder charge this turn. Again, consistent with pretty much everything else. Beastmen. Wow, I hope you've enjoyed playing your Beastmen, ladies and gentlemen, because they're about to get nerfed. Dark Coven. Replace the second, third, and fourth sentences with the following. To do so, when a Bray Shaman or Great Bray Shaman makes a casting or dispel roll, they may apply +1 modifier to the roll of one or more friendly wizards that are not fleeing and have not succumbed to stupidity within their command range. However, if they roll a natural double 1, something has gone horribly wrong, roll immediately on the miscast table as normal, but apply the results to the Bray Shaman or the Great Bray Shaman that has made the attempt, and to each friendly wizard within their command range. Oh, Jesus, that's a lot of words. So I've actually not read the Dark Coven, but from what I understand, that's what it was. For what I understand, I mean, even just the bit about the miscast table. So one roll can basically make you miscast with multiple wizards.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it always did.
Oh, was it?
And it's not page 32; it's page 33. But anyway,
that's on the next errata. There'll be like change page 32 to page 33.
Page 33, yeah.
So what was it before?
Double we're making. Oh, hang on, double. No, they've made it better. It was on any roll of a double. Now it's only natural double 1.
Okay.
Now Wild Herd's just got a buff because that was one of the things people were saying. It's really good, but no one's going to do it because they just blow each other. They blow themselves up.
Okay.
So it's gone.
What then happens if you roll on the miscast table? Hold on, was it 1 miscast? Apply the result. So what if you roll like an 11 or 12, and suddenly you've got 8 spells going off with 1 miscast? Well,
that's what someone said. That they all go from all of them. That's what someone was like. The Voltides just go crazy. You cast a Voltide, and then you got 3.
I don't know how that works. Like I've always wondered. I've never really followed through.
I heard people saying that, but I don't know if that's I don't know if they do that.
Yeah, that's weird.
I actually don't mind that they've made that change because I did hear people sort of saying, "Oh, they're not going to use it much because it's pretty dangerous."
That's good. There's been a small change to the Strangle Look casting value, changed to 8, which I'm guessing is probably down to from 9 or something. But Banner of the Warped Moon. So this is the other Falconhorn, isn't it? It now says what single use. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm going to paint those besticles. Oh, maybe I will because of the infantry. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's good. I think. Well,
it was 30. It's only 35 points though, too, brother. You just got to bring that unit. That's it. But for 35 points, maybe don't care if you fail that. And it's just wasted.
No, they don't. It just what is interesting now is because of there is a consistency across the board where single-use items are just used up after one attempt, and they only generally get one attempt. So as much as I dislike that because of the changes it makes to High Elf Horn of Isha, which I quite like, and everybody else, all the other High Elf players love too, at least they're consistent about it, and it doesn't feel like you're getting done out of it. So that's the way they want to play it.
Oh, what have they done here with Toomies?
All right. Sepulchral.
You're getting the long ones, Pash.
I am getting the long ones. All right. Okay. So the rule is changed to once per turn, before making a casting roll, any Leech Priest within a mortuary cult army may draw upon the magical animus of any nearby undead constructs. To do so, nominate a friendly unit that has the Nekaharan undead special rule that is within the Leech Priest command range and whose troop type is swarms, monstrous infantry, monstrous cavalry, monstrous creature, or behemoth. The nominated unit immediately loses a single wound. The Leech Priest may then apply a +1 modifier to the casting roll. So, key facts. It's once per turn, although it can be in both turns, although it's only one casting. So it's once per turn, and you only apply +1, and you only remove one wound. This is huge.
That's massive.
This is absolutely massive for Mort Cult. It essentially means that you no longer have the +4 to cast Mort Cult lists, etc. So,
having said that, I don't know if it totally nerfs them in the sense that it's still quite useful, and maybe you won't be loading up stupid, heaps of swarms, and I don't know. You know what I mean?
It's significant if you think about it. Like,
you can't guarantee you're going to force.
Oh no, you're not. That's what I'm saying. It brings them back, but I still think people might end up playing them. I don't know about
certainly. It just brings them. I think Mort Cults are probably the best army at the moment until we see Cathy, really. But I do think they're the best army in the moment, and one of the reasons is because they can just reliably cast whatever spell they want. But now they cannot do that. That's going to make a big difference, I think, to the way that army plays. It's not going to make it that much worse. They're still amazing.
No, that's what I'm saying. Later, and if anything, you'll be able to get a few more things in because you won't be spending so much like having all this crap around because you won't be killing a lot of it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I think that's going to be. I think that's a good change. It's a positive change for the game, definitely.
Yeah.
And one less line in Aussie comp. So lots of
do they get to take law for me now, or what?
We'll have to have a discussion about that with my Australian contacts, but maybe. All right. So the next one is the Flail of Conquered Kings. Change the notes to the Flail of Conquered King's strength applies only to the enemy models the wielder charged. Again, consistent with everything else. Stone Shaper, change the last sentence to until the end of this turn, the nominated unit improves the regeneration value of its regeneration save by 1. I didn't even know what this was. I've never seen this before.
I think that must be to do with the is that those other those like to buff up the what were they called? The dudes with the whips? What are they called?
Oh yeah. What was Stone Shaper before? So it is during the command phase, if they're not engaged in combat, this character may nominate a single friendly Necrolith Colossus, Arch
Necrotech,
Shapti, or Venerable Shapti within their command range until the end of this turn. The nominated unit improves their armor value of its regeneration save by 1. So basically, all it's doing is just changing the armor value bit, which was really confusing people before.
Yes.
Just being regeneration value. Yeah, fine. Makes sense.
All right. So I'll hit the Ravening Hordes FAQs off with a sad one. The one and only that I get to do. Can a Black Orc boss take a Black Orc chariot as a mount in an army made using the Goblins tribe Grand Army composition list? They cannot. With heavy hearts, we must inform everyone who asks that the option is only available when it is made using the Nomadic War Army of Infamy.
There you go. I don't think you see a lot of it, but I mean, depending on how it's ruled, you do see it a bit. I've never taken them. But
All right, Gommo.
Can the Infernal Puppet be used against a bound spell? Yes, cool. But it always. Well, this is just FAQ, I guess.
This is new. This is new.
Oh, okay, right. So you couldn't use it against bound spells.
No, because before the puppet, basically, I think it said like wizarding the spells or something like that. Let me just double check what the wording on the puppet actually is. It says, oh no, these are Beastman things. No, I think this is significant because having dispels on bound spells, suddenly now you can. It's very, very hard to cast bound spells. Okay, within 15 inches, fine. Unless the owner of the puppet is fleeing or engaged in combat, they may use it whenever an enemy wizard that is within now 15 makes a casting roll. If they do so, enemy wizard must roll an extra d6 to the highest result. Now, the way it's worded, I'm not 100% sure this applies to non-wizards that have banned items, but I guess the intention is that it does. But yeah, I think that's
another FAQ for that.
That essentially, we have more.
Depends how they reworded the. I can't remember what was it. What did they actually? Yeah, they've only done the first sentence change, unless the owner of the. Oh no! Whenever an enemy wizard that is within 15 inches of them makes a casting roll,
it still mentions wizards, which
does,
if you have the Ring of Fury, you're not, or Ruby Ring.
I think rules is written. If you have Ring of Fury and you're not a wizard, then it doesn't apply still. Then that's weird.
Ooh.
I know.
We have more questions.
Yeah. And fighting a Warriors duel challenge between two unit champions are such things as magic stands carried by their units counted. No, a Warriors duel is fought between the two participants alone without any support from their units.
I'm surprised there's only one question about the way that the Warriors duel works, because it's just such a complicated rule.
So do they get Furious Charge? No, because they're not charging, or do they? No, probably not. If a character joins a unit of skin wolves, can they transfigured by the warped form special rule? No.
That's again significant, because there used to be a lot of these Wolves of the Sea Death Stars running around with the wolves applying to the characters, which was always an abusive rule. Oh yeah, people took like skin wolves, and then suddenly the characters inside the skin wolves were getting the skin wolves benefits. And it was stupid. It was like, you can clearly tell that's not the intention. But again, don't let bad wording get in the way of good rules.
Yeah. Is that it?
We're at the end. The end.
That's it. That's all she wrote. So what do you guys think? What's your thoughts? You feel excited about it? Gommo's so excited that he's left the chat.
He's going to go play some Warhammer.
He just passed out. Let's see if he's come to. Oh, he's come back. He has. And he's killed the mic.
That's what happens when you press back on your browser accidentally.
There you go. So what do you think?
Trying to shut
overall?
Something else.
What's your thoughts?
Keen to try out if the infantry makes a difference, but I guess I'll have to play around with that. But yeah. I don't know. I feel like the FAQ part, like the actual rule book, there's a lot of these changes, and then there's just these big ones in the army books that, just a few of them, but the rest of them they're all pretty. They make sense, most of them.
Yes.
Wasn't as bad as I thought.
I think overall they are lots of sensible changes, lots of changes where it was like, that's how we played it anyway, which is good. There's a few weird changes. There's a few nothing burgers where it was like, this makes absolutely no difference. Why did you even bother putting that in? But then there's quite a number of exciting changes to infantry, to certain armies, to certain items, which I think are all generally positive to the way that the game works. So I think on the whole,
I can't see the game be broken because of the change. If anything, it'll just level it a bit, which is what they're going for. Even the fact that magic now, potentially there's going to be, effectively you would think there'd be, a reduction in the amount of spells that are cast, just because of the way.
There should be, shouldn't there? Because if you think about it, you have a level, a casting 8 roll, right? You used to roll 2d6 plus level 4 generally. Now it's 2d6 plus 2. Even if you reduce that by 1, it's still 1 harder to cast, and that's significant. It also probably means harder to dispel.
That's true. And I always did think that the issue with the game wasn't, sorry, not the issue, but the reason why you had to bring a level 4 is for dispelling, not for casting. Like, no one gave a shit about casting. It was to stop you getting nailed by spells. And so now this might be different. But having said that, can you then play around these points more? So like, can level 3s become a thing? Because if that, it's not like you want 4 spells most of the time. You're after 2. So like, if you're taking Law Familiar or you're doing something else, or you like your good signature spells, are level 3s viable now? You know, like you just take a bunch of them, which frees up points elsewhere, which then.
Well, I think it makes a level 4 a very difficult upgrade now because you're paying what 30, 35 points or whatever it is for an additional spell.
Yeah.
Well, how much is like those not the law familiar, but how much are the ones that
familiars?
Are, aren't they usually 15?
Yeah.
So why would you play a level 4? You just play.
I guess you get the ability to cast an additional spell per turn. Sure.
True.
But
most of the time you're not.
Yeah,
doing that.
I am a little bit less of a fan of having yet more bookkeeping in game to be like, did I cast 3 spells this turn? Did I cast 4? I don't remember. Like,
especially like, is it Mao Ying or some of those ones where they can actually have a lot more, and you're like, it's a bit annoying to bookkeep that through the different phases because sometimes you can't remember what you're casting them. Yeah,
exactly.
If it was all in magic phase, not a problem, but because it's littered.
Especially when you got if you got multi-casters, like maybe if you only got one caster, it's not too bad. But you know, some of those armies where you got like 2-3 casters, it's going to get a bit confusing.
Yeah,
and further debuff, like Mao Ying's an interesting character where has level 4 and then level 2 as a dragon. Those type of things are interesting too because suddenly you back down only 2 spells when you're in dragon form, which is cool. Yeah, and interesting to see how the dwarves go with they're buffed to spells, but not the others. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think dwarves again. They've hammered a few things. No pun intended. They've taken down their ability to cast a little bit. The troll hammer is not as good as it used to be. But I think they've improved their hammers and they've improved their infantry. So actually, on the whole, I think dwarves benefit from this FAQ.
I reckon they do a lot.
I am sad about Hiles though. Like I genuinely think Hiles have taken a bit of a beating because their dragon lords are no longer be able to be armor save 2, which is about one of their most unique things that they used to have. Now they're vulnerable to ethereal characters. Generally, the loadouts are going to have to change. I think that's going to be interesting. But hey, White Lions have Furious Charge.
It's got something. I got a forest.
And you have a forest.
Yeah.
So, but I think Mort Cult have taken a step down. Brett's are probably exactly the same. Chaos have probably
different because you have the magic, the puppet and stuff, and the dragon. But then you've got that counter charge on the knights is big.
Counter charge on the knights is like I think the dragon list is taking a bit of a pasting, although you can take smaller dragons now. But the knight bus.
What does that mean? Heralds get a boost? Like
the heralds are still a poor version of the Grand Army. Like I still don't see why you can, but they're not as good. Hiles have taken a bit of a pasting. Beastmen probably slightly worse.
What about how does Impetuous play into this? Things like the Errant Tree Crusade, or even Night Goblins are still going to be leadership crap all, so they're probably going to
that's going to hurt.
fail. But what about your Dragon Princes? Are they going to see play?
Leadership 9, that's much better. Impetuous and Dragon
Princes. They have counter charge.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
There you go.
But they're not core. That's the problem.
Core,
that'd be great. Maybe with the next Arcane Journal, the Calidor edition, that would be great. But I think Impetuous is a positive change. Stupidity, big.
That's so good.
It feels like it's something they've missed, doesn't it? Like they just didn't finish writing that rule.
What's the law that's got the stupid? Like when you cast stupid on someone as well? What's that one? Which one's that one?
Is that not illusion or one of them? One of them causes your opponent to be stupid.
There's a couple like that.
Stupidity is now significant.
Very
significant actually. So like vampires running around with a 4-up ward save that has
I was just about to say that. Just didn't do anything. You just put it on your.
What does this do for Legacy? Because obviously, one of the first things I did is just went, come on, surely they give us a little bit of an FAQ for them.
No,
they haven't.
I don't think so.
How do you? Which ones fall further behind, or which ones aren't really rattled by this?
I don't think the Legacy armies change much at all. Like they're in the same position they have been. Can't do any of them.
Does infantry help anything with, say, Skaven? Things like that. And
it's more crap strength 3 attacks. Are you bothered? Like,
unfortunately,
I don't think it gives the Legacy armies really any changes at all, other than the generic core changes. So I'm not expecting the legacy armies to become more or less prevalent. I'll be honest. I genuinely think that they will probably not ever do anything with legacy armies, and instead move down new IP type routes rather than chase those ones. So rather than do vampires, they'll do like Vampire Coast, which is zombie vampires and zombie pirates and stuff, and then they can trademark that a lot easier. Basically, look at Total War and those armies in a Warhammer scenario. I can see being functional, but I don't really see it.
Do you reckon they could still do that in a way and use some of those existing plastics to buff out the initial launch range potentially? Yeah. Because if they did
zombies,
that's
zombies are zombies, aren't they? And you know, like they probably will be able to do that. And people love vampire characters and stuff, so I can see them going down that route. But I unfortunately don't think in the near future they'll do anything with legacy armies. So maybe in 3-5 years time, but not in the near future.
Yeah,
I think you're on the money there, because like you have a look at Cathay as such, like quite a narrow model release line. To me, it doesn't seem like that's a huge commitment, having such a small, and like you said, probably just turn over quite a few of these smaller armies with the
well, especially for what that the Arcane Journal, well, not a leak, I mean it's what they said in that book, that they're gonna have a blend of them and some Empire stuff. Interesting way to bring stuff out, and obviously Kislev could do that way even easier. I mean, the Kislev book would probably be a full army book almost, because when you add the Empire crap into it,
pretty much there, isn't it? Like you'd think that would be an easy next step.
Yeah, so hopefully that's a good way to it's like first version was all old shit release, second version is like new stuff that looks littering of old and blend, and then eventually you get to version 3 where everything's brand new plastics.
One thing's for certain though, like we're living in a very exciting time to be a Warhammer player. This is fantastic. Like it's like 3 Christmases come at once. You've got new army, you've got new match play document, you've got new FAQ.
It's a bit of a struggle to keep up, to be honest.
It is, but like, I mean, we're not expecting anything else, hopefully. But like, this has given us lots of toys to play for the next 6, 9, 12 months before we start itching for something else. So I think this is great. It's fantastic.
You know what? Actually, and it sort of relates to your Aussie comp and all that. We haven't done our review on match play doc and all that stuff yet, but the one thing I keep thinking about is games actually haven't done enough to address comp, probably. So that means I feel like there's still a place for community to either do FAQs, patch the renegades, and comp, and because they haven't done so much to kill the communities, we can still keep that momentum going, even though we don't have to do as much, because these FAQs help. It doesn't. We hopefully won't get in this weird fight where it's like, no, we're only going to do match play. No, we're going to use some comp. I feel like Warhammer's always had comp and community comp, like Warhammer Fantasy, and I feel like it's probably still going to stay around a little bit, because I'm not sure that match play does it.
No, the match play it won't be enough for a lot of people, but what I think it does do is it sets the precedent that it's okay to have comp. Like GW says, mum and dad say that it's okay to have comp. So let's explore comp a little bit more, and whether that is very minimal and you just stick to 1 or 2 of the suggestions for the match play, or whether you go on the more extreme side, there'll be a position that everybody's happy and comfortable with it. But I think there is definitely room for comp. There is room for tournament gaming within Warhammer. So let's not be completely negative about that. So
Mark,
look at this. Look at it, Mark. This is an exciting statement.
I've played 43 years. It's the most exciting time I've played. I mean, we're actually like once 8th died. I mean, I'm always this firm believer that the reason why these games died is because the company's way they operated, not the actual game. Yes, there's issues with price and armies and all that sort of crap, but to see what they did after that, now they've got good community support, they're doing all this. It's great to see Warhammer Fantasy back in that era, because it's like it can shine. Maybe not to the 40K level, but it's gonna go good, I think. So
I think it's only going to. I can only see us growing from here, because everything, all the changes they're making, all the support they're giving it, really shows like they want this game to keep getting better. The studio behind it is really good. The releases are supported. The rules are decent. Like it is a really good system. It's a very exciting time to play Warhammer. I think there's the little niggly annoying bits. They've already fixed a whole bunch in this FAQ. There'll be fewer and fewer questions as the edition matures, and anything else we can probably fix with a bit of comp. So I think
exactly. Yeah, and we know 6 months time we'll get another FAQ or whatever they'll do, and they've been pretty consistent now every 6 months with this stuff.
Yeah, they have.
He's just got a new army, like all plastic. I mean, geez, how can you argue?
Every 6 months,
haven't had one for 20 years. Not that we want all brand new plastics all the time, but I mean, it's great to see a whole new army out. So,
and there's I
was just going to say, like, after the rumors, I was a little bit hesitant on what was going to be in the FAQ, and then the match play guide came out. I was a bit like, then Cathay came out. So this is, I think this is quite invigorating after seeing this. Obviously, I'm happy now. I'm happy.
Yeah. I can't even remember what issues I had with those leaked rumors, but it feels like either if they're all there, I can't remember any ones I had problems with.
It was more like, if that was kind of all it was, sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe that was the thing I was worried
not
about.
Seeing the full picture. You're never happy unless you know everything. And now we know everything. Now we just need to sort of digest and play around with it and play with it. And it's new toys. We have new toys, and it's Christmas Day, so enjoy yourself. It's going to be a very fun time for us all.
Or Paul, the new recruit old world builder dudes, they're going to have to get onto this now. I just can't build lists unless it's in the builder. So the other all these little changes. I guess there's not technically point changes, but the army rule changes. I don't know. It's going to be printing this FAQ out or something and carrying it around the next few games. That's for sure. Just to remember all the bloody changes, but
I can't wait. This is very exciting. Actually one of the points that Mark's raised there just in the chat as well. He says it's the best community for a long time, and I agree. Like I genuinely think I genuinely think it's the old world community that we have in the world, and across the different countries. It is really good. Like there's not a lot of dickheads. They generally keep quiet. We know who they are. The three of them are in this room. It's a really good crowd. It's a very exciting time. There's lots of content firing out. There's lots of exciting chat, people throwing ideas together, and it's very exciting time to play Warhammer. Definitely.
Yeah, and you look at like those Facebook groups, we got 40,000 people in them, and from old world rankings, there's maybe 6,000 to 7,000 ranked in there or whatever it is. It's like there's a lot of people who either aren't playing. I mean, yes, I don't have Europe, so maybe that's not isn't indicative, but it shows you that potentially there's a lot more players to come. And as people then start going, oh, this is a good game, maybe I will jump over to it from 40k or AOS or whatever. Got to get the old Kings of War people back. They're still I mean, I've nothing against Kings of War, but it's like play this as well. So
I think,
can I ask one question to both of you?
Go for it.
So, Gommo and Pash, if there's one rule that you guys could add, or FAQ, or Errata, to what just came out, what would it be? If you could just add one thing, or change one thing that they've already done in there.
If it's only one.
If
it's only one, you know what I think would be the most simple change that would actually make a big impact on the difference between infantry and monsters? If they capped overkill to 3. Okay, so you have a dragon charging an infantry unit, and suddenly the most you can get is like 4 combat res. You no longer have close order. The most you can get is 4, right? That infantry already has 2 banners, 2 ranks, a banner, close order, musician,
and then maybe this outnumber one as well,
and then outnumber and all the rest. So actually, capping the overkill bonus, I think, would actually be a very small but quite significant change that would change the balance of the way that monsters would operate. I've been thinking.
Do you reckon they get close to that with the change they've done now?
I mean, in a way, it swung the combat res by 2 towards infantry, hasn't it? Because now they have
it's got that, and also it's also got the champ. Like if you come in with your Chaos Lord and wipe the champion out, your dragon can't fight.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Yeah. So actually, that will have changes. Now you're going to need to send
even
in that
even more use to have your charm shield, hey, on your
Yes.
On your champion, because now he still dies, but he's now dead at the dragon.
All the charm shields.
Yeah.
What's yours, Gommo?
Oh God, I don't know. I'll probably pick on Pegs and say that royal Peg should have been monstrous creature. I don't know, but in terms of a game mechanic, oh man, I don't know. You've got me. I don't know. I think it's not too bad. I can't think of anything. It's only just that specific one that I thought to bring the bloody pegs down. But nah, man, I've got nothing. I don't know. I'd like to see how it plays out, because I've still got my head around it. But this whole step up support, not step up, like fighting extra rank. What's it called? What's the rule called now? Because they've added 3 rules to infantry, whatever it's called. I've got to get my head around if that's going to be enough. What's yours, Andrew?
The classic what is it? Move through cover. I can't. I still got to drop my dice.
Yeah, that's stupid, isn't it?
What I charge.
Oh, okay. Look, well, sorry. You know what mine is then. I'm brain dead. They should have fucking got rid of measuring wheels or changed that somehow, or go closest to closest.
Yeah.
Especially now that they're nerfing Limehammer a bit. You nerf Limehammer, you just bring back 8th edition, closest to closest, roll the dice, you're there. Like, it's just so much easier.
There's still room for improvement in version 1.6. Let's just say that there's still
keep some things for the future to look forward to.
We are getting better with each FAQ. It feels like they're catching a few more loopholes, and it is improving the overall game, which is it's moving in a positive direction. So let's keep going that way.
I don't want to end on a negative, but I don't like the poison attack change. Personally.
Oh, you don't like that? Oh, okay.
I think it's just, again, a little bit too much bookkeeping for not much benefit, I reckon.
Well, no,
now that other things have been nerfed.
All you really do is you roll, say, 20 dice, you get 3 6s, and then you roll however many hits you get, and then you get an additional +2 to wound on 3 of them. That's how I read it, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, so it is, but you are technically rolling a little bit more dice again.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I just think you're changing a rule that's been around forever, and the only reason everyone doesn't like it is because of that massive infantry, like poison shooting block. But you've nerfed that.
Yeah,
it just feels like a double nerf again, just for no reason. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Or I would have liked it if all poison hits got +1 or +2 wound. I thought that might have been pretty cool, because even if if you hit on a 5-up like archers, like undead do, having that extra plus to all your wounds would have been interesting. But this is, it is what it is.
Exactly. It does.
Does this mean now you can have poison monster slayers and stuff?
Poison still doesn't attach itself to magical weapons. So if you have well,
that's true. You'd have to.
Is there anything that has monster slayer and has
killing
access
blow?
to poison?
Killing blow built in? Probably not. Don't know. But you can get armor bane now massively as well. Then with it, with your poison.
Is that how it works? Does it not when you roll a actual 6? Hold on.
Because you can't get armor bane with your poison attack because you roll 6 and you've never rolled to wound armor bane. Where now you could roll a 6 and then another 6 with that. And get
so it says, see, if armor bane says if a natural 6. Yeah, if a model with this special rule rolls a natural 6 when making to wound. Then
so you still need to roll, but I'm saying you never rolled that before, so you never got an armor bane.
Yeah.
Got you.
There's a little bit of that, but I don't know what that,
stealth buff.
I don't know how much of a difference it makes.
But exciting, very exciting.
Man, thanks for coming on. That was
right.
I was about to, we were going to do a Cathay thing, and I was about to renege on Andrew because I was going to do some work. And then about 2 minutes later, he's like, fucking FAQ's out. And I'm like, oh crap, we have to do it.
Drop everything and go. Well, thanks for having me on. I do enjoy your drop-in sessions that you have on Monday. So
yeah. I'll let you go back to your day, Pash, and everyone else for watching our very impromptu. Had not read it, so we probably were a bit lost at times. FAQ drop. So I guess start writing up some new lists and get some games in soon, hopefully, with this. And there we go.
Definitely.
Enjoy Warhammer, folks. Thank you very much.
See you on the next stream, guys. Bye.
Ciao.